Relaxed side of President Franklin D. Roosevelt at Top Cottage in Hyde Park. He sits comfortably in his wheelchair on the porch, enjoying a quiet moment with Ruthie Bai and his beloved dog, Fala. Step back to 1929, where rows of focused telephone operators managed the busy switchboards. These women were the human internet of their time, manually connecting every call with precision and speed to keep the world talking. We know him for physics, but in 1927, Albert Einstein showcased his artistic soul. Here, he plays the violin, a passion he often turned to for relaxation and inspiration when solving the universe's greatest mysteries. On August 3, 1970, Mississippi witnessed a historic union. This powerful image captures the state's first legally married interracial couple, standing together against prejudice and marking a significant turning point in the fight for love and equality. In 1969, Margaret Hamilton stands proudly next to a towering stack of code. This is the actual navigation software she and her team at MIT hand-wrote for the Apollo program, enabling humanity to land on the moon. Meet Dean McCandless, a brave veteran of the 82nd Airborne Division. He survived all 4 major combat jumps of World War II, leaping into danger in Sicily, Italy, Normandy, and the Netherlands to fight for freedom. In 1954, Hollywood icon Marilyn Monroe took a break from the screen to visit troops in Korea. Here, she learns to use an oxygen mask on an Air Force jet, bringing glamour and morale to the soldiers serving abroad. Meet Goliath, a massive elephant seal at the Vincennes Zoo in Paris, 1936. Towering over the zookeeper, this gentle giant captivated visitors with his immense size, showing the incredible diversity of nature in pre-war Europe. A poignant family portrait taken just after World War I. The serious expressions often hint at the heavy toll the war took on households, capturing a moment of relief mixed with deep remembrance for a changing world. Travel back to 1973 Iran, where a woman joyfully cuts her birthday cake. This image reflects the westernized fashion and lifestyle common in the era before the revolution, capturing a candid moment of celebration and freedom. Long before modern wellness trends, this 1956 photo shows early animal therapy in action. A patient finds comfort in a furry friend, proving that the healing bond between humans and animals has always been powerful medicine. Amidst the ruins of 1945, a touching moment of humanity shines through. A soldier pauses to share his rations with 2 hungry Dutch children, a small act of kindness that defined the liberation of Europe. Behold the majestic old Cincinnati Library, a cathedral of books that stood from 1874 to 1955. Its towering cast-iron shelves and spiraling staircases were a masterpiece of architecture, sadly demolished to make way for modernization. In Vietnam, 1965, an American soldier wears his sentiment clearly on his helmet. The hand-lettered slogan, "War is Hell," captures the gritty, unvarnished reality faced by young men drafted into a conflict far from home. In 1917, at the Martha Washington Hotel, an elevator girl stands ready for duty. This role was one of the few jobs available to women at the time, offering a glimpse into the working lives of the past. A generation of leadership is captured here in 1953. Sir Winston Churchill stands proudly in coronation robes alongside his son Randolph and grandson Winston, marking a legacy of British history in a single, powerful family photograph. In 1927, First Lady Grace Coolidge poses with the most unusual White House pet, a raccoon named Rebecca. Originally sent to be eaten for Thanksgiving, the family fell in love with her and kept her as a companion instead. Between 1890 and 1910 in England, a young girl bravely poses with her prosthetic legs. This image highlights both the medical limitations of the Victorian era and the incredible resilience of children facing disability in history. Watch the evolution of McDonald's architecture through the 90s, 2000s, and 2020s. From the playful mansard roofs and outdoor playplaces to the sleek modern gray boxes of today, the design reflects changing tastes and corporate branding. In 1970, after a lavish Christmas spending spree, Elvis Presley flew to the White House. He met President Nixon to request a narcotics badge, believing it would let him carry guns anywhere, a bizarre clash of icons. Summer in Italy, 1967. A family packs everything they own onto a tiny Fiat 500 for a holiday. This charming photo captures the spirit of adventure and the impressive storage capabilities of Europe's favorite little car. A rare burst of joy from 1850. In an era of serious portraits, a baby breaks into laughter while her mother tries to stay still. The hand-tinted cheeks add warmth to this timeless human moment. Nothing screams the 1980s quite like this 1988 Jordache jeans advertisement. With big hair, acid-wash denim, and bold attitudes, it perfectly encapsulates the fashion and cultural vibe of a decade defined by excess and style. It's a running joke that kids in the 1960s looked middle-aged. In this vacation photo, the hairstyles, glasses, and serious expressions make these children look like miniature adults, capturing a unique quirk of mid-century styling. This is De Verfdoes in Amsterdam, designed in 1956 by Alert Warners. Its colorful, modernist facade was groundbreaking for its time, bringing a vibrant splash of artistic design to the functional world of Dutch residential architecture. In 1977 Turkmenistan, collective farmer Kadir Orusov focuses intensely during a chess tournament. This image highlights the massive popularity of chess across the Soviet Union, where the game was a beloved pastime for people from all walks of life. The joy of movement is captured in this 1941 photo from Chicago's South Side. An African-American couple glides across the roller rink floor, their style and grace freezing a moment of leisure during a turbulent era. Here is the iconic Cyndi Lauper, capturing the essence of 80s pop culture. With her eclectic fashion and vibrant energy, she wasn't just a singer, she was a symbol of individuality and fun that defined a generation. Meet Johnny Clem, the drummer boy who ran away to join the Civil War at age 9. By 12, he was a sergeant. His incredible bravery on the battlefield made him the youngest non-commissioned officer in Army history. Before the fame, this is Madonna on a New York bus in 1979. Photographed by her boyfriend, she was just an aspiring dancer and musician, years before desperately seeking Susan would launch her into global superstardom. Fresh from orbit in 1960, Belka the cosmonaut dog poses in Moscow. Along with Strelka, she proved living beings could return safely from space, paving the way for Yuri Gagarin and the future of human spaceflight. Vanity knows no gender in 1925. Here, a gentleman calmly reads his newspaper while hooked up to a terrifying-looking permanent wave machine. It's a humorous reminder of the lengths people went to for fashion a century ago. Due to the 1970s energy crisis and overproduction, thousands of unsold Ford Mavericks were stashed underground. This surreal image shows the cars stored in the subtropolis caves beneath Kansas City, waiting for buyers that never came. Long before she became the queen of crime, this is Agatha Christie at 16 in Paris, 1906. This rare portrait captures the youthful innocence of the woman who would grow up to mastermind the world's greatest mysteries. Before Lady Liberty could stand tall, her foundation had to be laid. This 1885 photo shows the massive construction project for the Statue of Liberty's pedestal in New York, a feat of engineering essential for the icon. Step into the sanctuary of a master. In 1920, Guy Verny, French painter Claude Monet, works diligently in his studio. Surrounded by his massive canvases, he captures the light and color that define the Impressionist movement. A Victorian couple strikes a pose on a tandem bicycle in the 1890s. This bicycle built for two was a symbol of romantic courtship and freedom, allowing couples to escape chaperones and explore the countryside together. Behold the Great Paris Exhibition Telescope of 1900, the largest refractor ever built. Though a marvel of engineering, it was useless for science. Sadly, this giant of the Belle Epoque was scrapped shortly after the exhibition ended. In the 1980s, the Serra Pelada mine in Brazil became a chaotic anthill of 100,000 diggers. Sparked by a child finding a nugget, this desperate gold rush created a human landscape of mud, sweat, and dreams. Sergeant Thomas Dawson stands with his daughter in 1855. He lost his arm fighting in the Crimean War. This photograph, once owned by Queen Victoria, serves as a stark personal reminder of the sacrifices made by soldiers. In the freezing winter of 1944, during the Battle of the Bulge, a U.S. soldier shakes hands with a dog. This brief moment of connection offers a heartwarming respite from the brutal fighting in Luxembourg. A stunning portrait of Natalie Wood from the 1950s. Transitioning from child star to Hollywood legend, her expressive eyes and classic beauty made her one of the most captivated screen presences of the mid-20th century. In the 1960s, Beatlemania was so intense it was considered hysteria. Crowds swarmed the band, and in Sydney, a desperate mother even threw her child at Paul McCartney, showing just how obsessive the fandom had become. On April 28, 1988, terror struck at 24,000 feet. An Aloha Airlines jet lost a huge section of its roof mid-flight. Miraculously, the pilots landed the convertible plane safely, with only one tragic fatality occurring. Flashback to 1985 with the Brat Pack. Emilio Estevez poses with Demi Moore and E.G. Daly. This snapshot captures the youthful energy and camaraderie of the actors who defined teen cinema in the 1980s. Before the platinum blonde hair and the name change, this was teenage Norma Jean around 1940. Looking fresh-faced and innocent, it is hard to believe this young girl would transform into the legendary Marilyn Monroe. Fitness fads are nothing new. In 1935, these kangaroo jumps rebound shoes promised a fun workout. They look dangerous and silly now, but they represent the eternal human quest for the next big thing in exercise. Long before modern electric cars, innovators were experimenting with futuristic designs. This 1948 vehicle looks like a spaceship on wheels, proving that the dream of aerodynamic, advanced transportation has fascinated engineers for nearly a century. In 1959, Italy, getting to school was an extreme sport. Children near Modena used pulleys to cross a river, a terrifying daily commute that gives real meaning to the phrase uphill both ways for education. It's 1991, and Keanu Reeves stands with Patrick Swayze for Point Break. This film became a cult classic, perfectly capturing the adrenaline-fueled surfer heist vibe that made both actors absolute icons of 90s action cinema. A rare sighting of Sandra Bullock and Adam Sandler together in 1994. Right on the cusp of their massive fame, this photo captures two future comedy legends looking young, relaxed, and ready to take over Hollywood. Here is Sandra Bullock in 1993, just before Speed made her a household name. Her girl-next-door charm and undeniable talent were already evident, setting the stage for her reign as America's sweetheart in the 90s. The grim reality of World War I is frozen here in 1917. British soldiers endure the mud and misery of trench warfare. This official photograph documents the claustrophobic and harrowing conditions that defined the Great War. In 1983, reading the morning news looked like this. A train car full of commuters, every single one buried behind a broadsheet newspaper. It's a reminder that we've always ignored each other during commutes, even before phones. This haunting image shows the face of a soldier after 4 years of war. The 1,000-yard stare and premature aging reveal the psychological and physical toll that prolonged combat takes on the human spirit. In 1926, New York, playground safety was non-existent. Kids pile onto a steep, towering metal slide. It looks dangerous by modern standards, but for these city children, it was a thrilling escape from the streets below. In 1991, country legend Dolly Parton visited U.S. soldiers during Operation Desert Storm. Her bright smile and big hair brought a touch of home and comfort to the troops serving far away in the Persian Gulf. Step into the swinging 60s in London. Bold prints, mini dresses, and go-go boots ruled the streets. This era revolutionized fashion, breaking traditional rules and introducing a colorful, rebellious mod style that still influences us today. Flying used to be a very different experience. In the 1960s, Lufthansa actually offered fresh draft beer service from a keg on board. It was a golden age of air travel luxury that seems impossible today. At a 1934 California rodeo, a woman and her horse perform a death-defying leap over a car. This incredible stunt showcases the fearlessness of cowgirls and the amazing athletic ability of their equine partners. In 1936, Copenhagen, a department store covered its entire 5-story facade in coats for a sale. The stunt was so successful that police had to control the crowds, and every single coat was sold immediately. Housework history in 1929 Germany. A woman demonstrates a portable, manual dishwasher. It looks clunky and complex compared to modern machines, but it represents an early step toward automating the daily chores of the kitchen. This is the Roman Colosseum in 1870, looking wild and overgrown. Before modern restoration and tourism, nature had reclaimed parts of the ancient arena, giving it a romantic, ruined beauty that differs from the clean monument we see today. A Stoic wedding day in 1903, Sweden. Goethe and Anders stand formally for their portrait. Their serious expressions and traditional clothing offer a fascinating window into the solemnity of marriage rituals in early 20th century Scandinavia. Seeking fame and fortune, 62-year-old schoolteacher Annie Edson Taylor did the unthinkable in 1901. She became the first person to survive plunging over Niagara Falls in a barrel, proving that bravery has no age limit. Did you know Stonehenge was renovated? This photo from 1920 shows a massive trilithon stone being re-erected. It reminds us that even ancient monuments require human intervention to stay standing for future generations to admire. In 1910, crowds flocked to the beach at Atlantic City. Advertised as a fresh air escape from toxic city fumes, everyone wore full suits and long dresses, enjoying the seaside in what looks like very uncomfortable clothing. The winter of 1963 in Aberdeen, Scotland brought massive snowfall. Residents built this towering giant snowman, dwarfing the people standing next to it. It stands as a whimsical memory of one of the UK's coldest winters. In 1903, Fanny Cochran-Smith sings into a phonograph. As the last fluent speaker of the Tasmanian languages, her recordings are the only audio legacy of a culture that was tragically wiped out, preserving history through sound. I am not sick, I am broken. In 1950, Frida Kahlo painted from her hospital bed. Despite immense physical pain, her creative spirit remained unbreakable, proving that art can be a powerful survival mechanism during suffering. A stark reminder of segregation in 1939 Oklahoma City. An African-American man drinks from a colored fountain. This mundane act, separated by law, visually captures the systemic racism and inequality of the Jim Crow era. In 1890s America, childhood was often stolen by labor. This image of a young boy working highlights the harsh reality before labor laws protected children, reminding us of the progress made in human rights. In 1947, legendary photographer Robert Capa captured this Moscow classroom. Despite the devastation of just years prior, these students focus on their studies, representing the hope and rebuilding efforts of the post-war Soviet generation. Hollywood grace meets motherhood. In 1952, Ingrid Bergman poses with her twin daughters, Isabella and Isata. It's a tender personal moment for the star, showing the private joy behind the public persona of an icon. The cat lady is a timeless trope. This photo from the 1930s shows a woman surrounded by her feline friends. It is a charming, slightly chaotic proof that the obsession with our pets is nothing new. Preparing for the worst in 1934, an English cavalryman and his horse are fully suited in gas masks. This eerie image reflects the terrifying anticipation of chemical warfare that loomed over Europe between the world wars. When other girls wanted to be ballet dancers, I kind of wanted to be a vampire. This childhood quote captures the unique, dark, and rebellious spirit that would eventually define her unique presence in Hollywood. At the height of her fame in 1990, Madonna is driven to her hotel during the Blonde Ambition tour. The chaotic energy and paparazzi attention in this shot define the peak of her global pop dominance. Check out the style in 1984. Nicolas Cage and Diane Lane attend a party for the Cotton Club. Young, stylish, and on the rise, they represent the new wave of talent that was taking over 80s cinema. In 1948, Roland Free planked his way to history. Wearing only a swimsuit to reduce drag, he laid flat on his motorcycle at Bonneville Salt Flats, breaking the world speed record in the most dangerous way possible.